Hey everybody, I'm Clara and this is Heavenly Declarations. Thank you to all the messages that I have received. I'm really impressed, and considering that I haven't been on online for a while, the viewing was really great as well. So thank you very much. It's wonderful. Thank you. It lifts my spirits greatly when people interact and watch the videos and join in. It's lovely, and especially when they say it's accurate as well. So one viewer would like me to do a part 2. So I'm gonna, from yesterday's video, like they want an outcome on that, okay? But I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that probably tomorrow, okay? But it may come out this evening. But I just want to do a general energy check and see what your past person, present person may be experiencing. Now, don't forget, although, sometimes I'm on here on a daily basis, so, and people on different timelines, so, it may resonate, it may not, it may be similar energy, and it may be completely different. You will know if it's for you. So thank you for the likes. Please like and continue to subscribe. It's really, really wonderful. And yeah, join in. I really do like that. That if you can hear chewing, it's Harry in the background. He's chewing one of his toys at the minute in his little basket. We're all in, and then you can see Milo's bottom, and we're all joining in this evening. So we'll start off with some messages, and we'll look at what the T is, true emotional. We'll throw some tarot on that. I've got the Lover's Oracle, get a love message as well, and then some affirmations, and then a possible outcome going forward for you guys with a different tarot deck. So we'll start off with a prayer, and then we'll commence the read. So, Heavenly Father, Archangels and Spirit Guides, enter this reading with your white, loving and protective light. Allow me to receive only the clearest and accurate messages for the highest good of whom I read. May I call upon Archangel Michael, Archangel Gabriel and Archangel Raphael to call upon witness and protect and heal any energies that need protecting and healing. Amen. Excuse me, I've just had a cup of tea, and it's maybe a little bit gassy, so I do apologise. Harry, I think it's a table. He gets really funny noises. So let's see what your person may be thinking or feeling or would like you to know. Okay. I'm so attracted to you, you don't know what you do to me. So this person is very, very attracted to you, okay? I mean, I think they spend a lot of time thinking about you on a sexual level. You may not appreciate that or not, but this person really does. And even if you're in separation from this person, okay, they can't help but fantasize and daydream about moments that they've had with you, sexual moments with you, and it actually makes them quite distracted. I'm hearing they also compare other people to you, like on a sexual and energetic level, okay? You really have been by my side. I see that. I do cherish you for that. Yeah, as I said, this person, you've kind of like set a kind of like bar, okay, for this person. I'm getting you're not their usual type, right? And looking back now, they realise that actually you were really there for them. And deep down, they may not have expressed that to you, you know, how grateful they are, okay, to have had you there in times of need, okay. I'm getting you probably did a lot more for this person than they actually did for you. But you did it in a selfless way, and I think they're starting to realise that. You gave selfless love. Yes, you did. And they're just wildly attracted to you still. Yeah, they are. But they also know that you have, I'm hearing like a golden heart, you know, I'm hearing that second to none, you know. This person hasn't experienced such a genuine soul that they're very attracted to, okay? And they really are, you know, even, I'm getting, you know, you're in separation with this person. Yeah, you are, because they reminisce a lot on the times, like I said. I think I'm hearing it drives them a little bit mad, okay, because this person may be dating other people. I'm getting a strong possibility that they're seeing someone else or have options, okay, and that might be another reason why you split up. But they reminisce about you all the time, and it really does drive them crazy, and they really are very attracted to you still. Like, you know, they may be it male, female, you know, you switch the role. They may be with really good looking people or whatever, and this and money and la 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 la, and looks and jobs, but they're not, these people are not you. And they can't match that energy, and they also can't seem to quite find somebody as genuine as you and selfless. Okay, you really, you know, you really gave without any expectation. Okay, I think this person was quite selfish with you, quite frankly, and now they're kind of reminiscing and realizing, you know, oh, you know, like, they can't match your energy. No one can, and they are deeply attracted to you still. I don't know how to express my love to you, so I keep it inside. So this person may not have, like I said, I think, you know, they didn't offer up as much as you did, okay, like physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, okay, just on a holistic level, they really didn't. And it's because they didn't know how to. I think they're so attracted to you, okay, they had a lot of lust for you, but they're also very grateful for you. I think once, walking away, splitting up, they wouldn't know how to tell you how they feel about you, quite frankly. I don't think they can articulate it. But they do love you. I've been hurt, and they have been hurt in past relationships. So I'm getting this person feels like if they expressed that they loved you, you would have some kind of power over them, and you may use it against them. And I'm getting that that is not what you were about, okay? You truly wanted them to love you back. And they do. I mean, they do. But they bottled it up. And I'm hearing now it's kind of like, the moment's passed. You may have asked them as well, like, do you love me? And they probably shrugged it off, or, you know, said that, you know, they don't. I don't think this person told you. And in fact, I think they probably denied how they felt about you. And it's driving them crazy now. Because you know, they have a lot of passionate energy for you. I keep seeing the Ace of Wands. Okay, we'll take one more. So they've been hurt in love before as well. So, you know, they were scared to be vulnerable with you, basically, okay? I'm not hiding the connection for the wrong reason. So they hid you as well. So I'm getting there were other people involved, okay? You know, I'm hearing married. I mean, this person could have been secretly married or secretly in a relationship elsewhere. You may have had like an in and out relationship, you know, like periods of not seeing this person. So I'm getting they possibly established something elsewhere. And I'm getting they feel bad because you really did help them out a lot. Okay, and they ultimately would like to be in a relationship with you. And I do think about the future, and when I do, I think about you in it. But they have options, yeah. But they would like to speak to you. So you're not with this person, okay? And I do feel like they hid you. I'm getting, you know, you split it up possibly some time ago. You may have had, you know, many kind of goes at this relationship, but it was always hidden. And it's because there was always a connection elsewhere. They always had options, okay? I do feel like they probably chose options over you every single time, all right? And it's driving them crazy now because they, you know, they just can't help but think about you. And they're still very attracted. And I think they feel really bad because, you know, they really do cherish you, and they didn't express how much you actually meant to them, and deep down they would like to have a relationship with you. I'm hearing they're all tied up there, you know, they didn't want to let you go for some reason, okay, and so they hid you, right? Let's see what the tea is. Yeah, you're I'm getting, you know, you're trying to dust the hurt off, okay? You know, you may be busying yourself as well with like chores and different things to keep you occupied, okay? So you don't fall into the trap of constantly thinking about this person. Because I do feel like it causes you great pain, okay? And I also getting from this card that this person kind of like just dusted you off, okay? Because they did have options, okay? And they didn't really express how they really felt about you, all right? But they are hooked secretly, yeah. And, you know, they left you feeling like there was no movement, like this kind of like chess. Is it checkmate? You know, they left you feeling scarcity tastic. So like you weren't enough. You weren't what they required. Kind of, you know, stopped any kind of movement in the relationship. So they kind of like, I think they put a lot of blocks in the relationship, okay? And it's because they did have options. They were hiding you, all right? Although they have a lot of deep feelings for you, this person really does have a lot of deep feelings for you. And I think at first they felt it was probably just mainly attraction, okay? But actually now that you're not together, they're realising, oh my God, this person really, really was not just somebody to be sexual with, but somebody that actually was really there for me. I do think you were 100% there for this person, actually. Creativity. Steals your ideas, copies work, duplicates these of you. I'm getting with that creativity. You're very creative, okay? Be it artistic, musical, eloquent with your words, just ideas and things that you do, okay? I'm getting you know, you're independent, you can stand your own ground. I'm getting whomever, you know, some of their options are, you know, they kind of went towards people that were similar to you in some aspect, okay, or people that tried to compete with you in a sense, okay, and you kind of like just dusted that all off. You're not interested. Okay? You are solely interested in being in a relationship with this person. Crying over you, sad, hurt, upset. I think they probably have shed tears. They will never admit that to you, okay, be male or female, okay? And you have probably shed a lot of tears. I'm hearing cry me a river. I do think, you know, over whatever time that you've known this person, you probably shed a lot of tears because you just wanted them to appreciate you, to show love, to match it back. And they're kicking themselves now because, you know, they realised how true you really were, how solid, how real, how genuine of a person you really were. But they hid you. Let's see what it is. So, you know, they have shed tears over you. They are upset, okay? Because they can't get you out of their head. They're still attracted to you. They reminisce on lots of moments, all right? And they don't know how to express how they really feel. Forces things on you, forces their way in, uses force to get what they want. So, as I said, I think this person placed a lot of boundaries, okay? Like, you can't do this, you can't do that. I don't want this, I don't want that, okay? And, you know, to block movement forward, all right, in your relationship. I really do feel, as much as you tried, this person would constantly place blocks so there would be no, you didn't get off the ground. As long as you may have been with this person, it kind of like stagnated, okay? It stayed in the same position, like we saw with the scarcity tactics. This person enforced their way so that it wouldn't grow. That's what I'm getting, okay? And that led you to feel very rejected all the time. I think this person, you know, would reject you a lot because of other options, all right? And yeah, they had a big ego, okay? They placed a lot of stipulations into this relationship. As much as you gave, as much as you would compromise, as much as you would bend, as much as you would wait, as much as you would plead. It was never it was never really heard, okay, because they placed so many boundaries, okay, and then you felt like they were really not interested in you, okay. They could also have been somebody that forced their way in, okay, that would like to cause arguments and compete with you, okay. Like I said earlier, somebody is being very competitive, okay. One of their options, or a few may, you know, not like you because they're silently competing with you, although you're not with this person, which is crazy. And it's because they know deep down this person is still very attracted to you. You know, people can feel these things. I think they're a runner. I think, you know, they were always running from committing to you, running to other things, running to other options, you know, choices in life, okay? Gosh, there's so many, I'm not going to take all of these, but, and now they're stuck in their head, okay? This person could have talked a lot of shit about you, all right? Some of these options, they've talked a lot of crap about you, all right? And, you know, you're just now very uninterested in all of that, because at the end of the day, you know you gave it your all. You really did. I'm getting you gave it all your all to this person. Bad reputation. And yeah, okay, so they've gone towards somebody that has actually got quite a bad reputation, that forced their way in to your relationship, and that's another reason why they're hiding the connection. They did definitely have options, okay? They could have gone with somebody with dyed blonde hair or just dyed hair, you know, and they had options, they had choices, they were entertaining other people. It says sex fix, secret lover, okay? Although they kept you like this, okay, they had other options that were, you know, this person may have had many sexual partners, okay? But one most certainly forced their way in, who has a bad reputation. You know, maybe you know, like quite a racy person, right? And this person is acting like they've got more money than they actually have, and it was, you know, they, you know, to impress some other option, okay? Right, so this person likes to kind of be with people that are, you know, kind of out there and racy and risque, okay? But you was also a secret love affair, because they did hide your connection. And the reason why they were hiding and running from you is because they had, you know, other people that they were entertaining. You know, they were always rejecting you. Let's get some of these, we won't get as many. This person has a lot of different, they may have a few different telephones, they may have a few different telephone numbers, they most certainly have a lot of secret accounts. They may even have secret files on these devices, you know, kind of like ducking and diving, talking to different people so they don't get caught out, okay? But they do have feelings for you, most certainly, they do, okay? I mean, they're very attracted to you. But you, as much as you love this person, you have feelings for them, okay? You feel like, I think you'd have wanted to get married to this person, because this person is proposing, but it's upside down. It says, I love you. This person never expressed how they felt about you. And they never, you know, got to the point of, you know, stepping up and proposing, okay? And now they're stuck in their head about you. They really are. They're like stuck in their head. Because, you know, you had to run. You had to go, because you feel like they're always going to keep you a secret. They may have popped the question to somebody else, okay? Yeah, you know, they may have got engaged to somebody karmic here, you know, who does have a bad reputation, okay? I'm hearing like a bit of a street girl, okay? Yeah, they were having romances elsewhere, all right? Secret love affairs. And kept on rejecting you. What else do we need to know? So, yeah, you see this person as being, you know, fake. Cast illusions on you, okay? A bit of a trickster and a phony. Because, you know, they wanted it all their own way, okay? You know, the lust was there, but they kept blocking you, okay? And they hid you, okay? Yeah, they hid you because they have a family, possibly, elsewhere. Okay, and although they had this family, they enjoyed, like, you know, reckless love affairs. So you ended up feeling like an option, unfortunately, here, okay? They, you know, enjoyed the passion with you, okay? And it led you to feel very anxious, okay? But now this person realizes that, you know, time's run out on this connection. Okay, because you just see them as a liar, a cheat. They hid you. They didn't appreciate you as much as they say that they did, okay? They kept you a secret. And they went towards, you know, other people and possibly had a family elsewhere. So you're now loving yourself. You know, you may have been run into the ground a little bit. You know, it could have aged you. You could have lost weight, you could have put on weight. But you're now about leveling up and loving yourself again. You're pouring all that love that you gave them into you, okay? This person may have bad credit and debt, okay? And they may be having, like, you know, problems with the law as well, okay? What else do we need to know? So 2 more. Yeah, you're this Empress, Queen Bee, okay? You're secure, you're confident, okay? You're very career focused, all right? And they made you feel getting less than, because they kept going towards people that were getting easier to maintain in a certain way, because, you know, you can look after yourself. All right, and you know, you're a very determined person, you're very secure in yourself, okay? Although they made you feel very insecure, they did, because they kept rejecting you, right? They were forcing their hand. But somebody forced their way into this relationship. You know, they were having secret affairs and probably a secret family, and, you know, yeah, divine feminine. There you are, Queen Bee, divine feminine, okay? They know you're an Empress. This is Empress energy. And you're loving yourself now, because you're done with the illusion here, okay? You're done with being rejected. You're done with this person running. You're done with being a secret affair to this person. But they hid you, okay, because there was others and possibly a family that we saw, okay? This person watches what you do, GPS. So, although you feel that they're possibly at distance from you and you haven't seen them, and, you know, there's a big void, silence possibly, you know, you may not have seen this person for some time. They track you. They know exactly what you're doing. Yes, they do. And this person is going through some kind of, like, chaos at the minute. They're having, like, downward spirals, because they're, you know, they can't get you out of their head, and, you know, they ran from somebody that actually, you know, you're the real deal, all right? But they were too into all this kind of, like, you know, secret love affairs, and didn't tell you the truth, and wanted people that were kind of like, you know, this bad rep, kind of like street vibe, okay? You know, volatile, out there kind of women, and that's not you. That's not you. You're this very secure, confident, spiritual, grounded, methodical person. But they do keep an eye on you. Yes, they do. And somebody kind of, I'm getting, who, you know, options, or whomever they, you know, have a secret love affair with, or a secret family with, you know, kind of like manipulated them some way, okay? Possibly with a pregnancy, all right? So this person is definitely tied up, all right, in some kind of family thing, or one of their options, they got pregnant and it's kept them, you know, at bay, okay? They're, you know, they can't get out of something because of possible pregnancy here, okay? They're now in some kind of like family situation, or they will be. And that's another reason why they hide you as well, because they can't ultimately be with you. Let's see. Yeah, this person always kept you at bay with the 7 of Wands. They were always standoffish with you, okay? Defending their ground, okay? So they, as I said, they had a lot of stipulations, all right? That they enforced, okay? And now they actually are regretting this, all right? Because you're in the past and they do have other options, and these options, they're realizing are not you, okay? Some of these people have bad reputations. A lot of it is just about sex, and one of them has possibly forced their way in with a pregnancy, okay? And this person's in a lot of regret with that, and you know, they probably tried to keep that a secret. Yeah, this Emperor, a mature man, could have beard, father figure, you know, felt there's in control, could be an Aries. I'm getting this person had a lot of passion, but quietly, okay? But they have a lot of regret now, because these secrets, these love affairs, these people with bad reputation have got them caught up in some manner. And now you just see them as a trickster. Yeah, they would like to come and apologize to you, okay? They would like to offer some form of apology. Or they went with somebody a lot younger than them, okay? Why are they so attracted to you? Well, the Emperor again, you know, he showed himself, so this person is allowing you to know that yes, they're in Emperor energy and they are very attracted to you, okay? And they're trapped in their mind. They trap themselves, okay? But yes, as much as they're trapped, okay, this Emperor is most certainly trapped. They're bound in something, okay? The Eight of Swords is all about self-entrapment. So this person put themselves in this position, okay? As much as they're attracted to you, okay? And it sends them crazy, they're stuck. And they're stuck because they were flighty. They were being a player. They were being very passionate, okay? You know, they were dashing here and there with these secret love affairs, blah, 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 blah. Okay, and this person has trapped themselves. And that's why they don't know how to tell you how they feel. Because they've rejected you time and time again. They put stipulations onto you. You see them as fake, okay? And you are the divine feminine, okay? The Emperor is usually a divine masculine, okay? So, you know, at one point you were an energetic match, but they were, you know, running around with, I'm hearing like, you know, sleazy people, you know, they were just like effing around. You know, they were having their fun. Why are they reminiscing about you so much? Why are they reminiscing? I mean, they're stuck, they're trapped. They feel like they can't get out of something here, okay? And, you know, they can't get you out of their head as well. I mean, they, you know, swords are all about our thoughts, okay? So this person is trapped in their thoughts. They can't get you out of their head. Oh, Lord. Yeah, I mean, they are. They're stuck in their minds. They're racking their brain. They realise that, you know, other options were probably not the best idea. But why are they reminiscing about you? Whoop! They're reminiscing about not accepting your cup of love, okay? They were too busy looking at other options. They were too busy looking at lots of different choices. So, you know, as much as you were an energetic match to them and really good for them, which they realise that now because they're very grateful and they cherish you for all the things that you've done for them, okay? And you could have made them very happy. They rejected you for these 3 of Cups, okay? They were, you know, and now they're bored. And I'm getting, as much as this may trigger you, I'm getting, they didn't see you they were about, we saw reckless sex as well, okay? And, you know, they could have got somebody pregnant through having reckless sex, all right? So this person enjoyed having secret rendezvous, a lot of sex, with people that were flighty, okay? Didn't mind just having one-night stands and things like that, okay? They went with people that had bad reps. And you are this, okay? So they realised that, I'm getting you weren't up for it enough, if you get my drift, okay? You weren't street enough for them. You weren't bad rep enough for them, okay? Because you wanted this. You wanted the 10 of cups. You wanted a family. You wanted a home. You wanted emotional stability. All right, and this person could actually be watching you now from a distance, okay, creating your own 10 of cups now. But yeah, this is going to sound bad, but they felt you were a bore, okay? You were too grounded for them, okay? They wanted these racy, you know, people that they could have, like, just frivolous sex with, I'm getting, right? Why didn't they express how they felt about you? Why didn't they express? Because they kept it inside. They do love you, but they trapped themselves, all right? And at the point, they felt like your offer was too grounded. I'm getting, okay. I don't know how to express my love to you, so I kept it inside, yeah. They regret that now with the 7 of Wands, okay? They regret not telling you how they felt, okay? They would like to drop their guard now, okay? I'm getting they probably listen to a lot of different people about the connection, all right? They want to kind of bring some balance here now, okay? Because you were really fair, then you could be Libra. I think you may have your guard up with this person and they would like you to drop it with 7 of Wands in reverse, okay? Yeah, you know, you decided to balance your life out and move on, okay, and heal. You had to do a lot of healing. This person hurt you. Why did they hide the connection? Well, they hid the connection because, you know, they were working with other people. There were other, you know, there were other people that they were, you know, building with. So I'm getting they didn't work with you, okay? I'm also getting they'd like to drop some of these people that they were collabing with, okay? Because with the 7 of Wands in reverse, I'm getting, you know, they regret looking at you like you were too grounded. They regret putting their guard up with you and they want to drop that now, okay? And they're trying to drop certain people that they were moving with, you know. They regret collabing with certain people, you know, and they don't want to hide the connection anymore. They want to drop certain collaborations so they can, like, you know, come forward. Yeah, because you're single, you're abundant. You know, I'm telling you, this Empress energy, you can absolutely look after yourself. All right, you don't need anyone. You absolutely don't. And that's what's very attractive about you as well. All right, and as much as, you know, this person placed a lot of burden on you, okay? You had to carry a lot of weight, all right? But you, regardless of all the pain, the burdens, the hardships, that you carried in this relationship, you still remain solo, independent, and looking after yourself. You know, and they see that. They see that. You know, I'm getting they're kicking themselves now. Because actually, although they thought you were like a boring offer and they were having all these like kind of like secret rendezvous and running here, running there and rejecting you and enforcing certain boundaries on you, they now realise that actually you were the better deal. Because you know, you really are super independent, super solo, you know, you don't need anyone. Why do they force things on you? Why do they force boundaries? I really do feel like they place a lot of boundaries, because they have other people in their life. And other males or females got in the way. This person liked going out partying, celebrating. Yes, it did. It's a celebration card, but it can also be about other options around us, okay? So this person enjoyed being with their family, with their friends, with everybody else except you. They enjoyed having these secret rendezvous, reckless sex that we saw. Yeah, they enjoyed juggling backwards and forwards, okay? So they placed boundaries on you and got themselves stuck. And they juggled you. They juggled a really genuine, stand-up, pre-empress energy. I mean, you're an empress. You're second to none, and they know that now, okay? You are a divine feminine. You are an empress, okay? And they juggled you. They rejected you. Why did they reject you? I mean, they made you feel so rejected. They were just like, no, you know? Because they were busy with other people. Working with other people. They were being manipulative, crafty, cunning. Magician in reverse. Lying, cheating, scheming, sleight of hand, causing illusion. You see this person as a trickster. You don't want that energy. And I'm getting, you've put your boundaries up too with this person now, okay? They were rejecting you because they were scheming and being cunning and causing illusions, okay? I mean, look, magician in reverse and trickster energy, yeah. I mean, they were just a fraud, okay? They were being fake, all right? And they're now regretting that it's all kind of like dead, okay? I mean, death in reverse. There's no movement in that. Death upright, okay, is transformation, okay. Death in reverse, okay, it's dead. And see this white rose, it really sticking out to me, like you really were pure. And I think, they were so manipulative, okay, that you just see them as just absolutely untrustworthy, and you literally had to bury it, okay? And I think you went to the absolute bitter end, okay? Yeah, and now you're at a new beginning and you're looking, into the future, because yeah, you see this person as absolutely toxic, with this devil energy. They connected themselves to 3D stuff: money, lust, drink, drugs, women, lust, sex, men, whatever, okay? They were in their ego. Tell us about why they were in their ego all the time, okay? Why are they always in their ego? Why are they always... Ooh. Because they needed to heal, okay? There's healing this person was still having to do, all right? This is about taking time out, okay? Really like taking a step back, healing, resting, okay? And it's caused them to have a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of worry, okay? Because their ego got the best of them, okay, when they should have been, really taking a stop check here, okay? Yes, they should have done. And I'm getting, because they were so egotistical, okay, their ego, their pride, their trickster ways, their manipulative ways, put you into the point of having to heal an awful lot, okay? I think this person really bruised your outlook on life. I think they really damaged how you visualize yourself as a human being. I think this person really knocked your self-esteem. You know, they could have even told you, you know, like, you're just boring, you know. They may have expressed that to you. And now they're stuck in their head, all right? Because you're leveling up and you're moving towards some form of victory after having a lot of conflict and competition with this person. This person liked to have it their way. Who's running here? Yeah, you're moving towards a new beginning. And I'm getting also, you see this person as always going like back to ground zero with, you know, said third parties, options. You may find out about secret family, pregnancy. I mean, it's just all going on because they've been manipulative and it's absolutely dead. You know, you just don't trust this person with a death in reverse. It could be a Scorpio. But they are watching you. They're very curious about you. They're still very attractive, but they're also very stuck, okay? And you want a new beginning. You know, you see this person as quite foolish, okay? Yeah. They went to people that have caused nothing but problems here, with bad reputation. Things are falling apart with other collaborations that they have made because they are trying to drop certain people that they have been working with, okay? And because of them keeping you a secret and going towards a lot of people just for sex, okay? We did see reckless sex, okay? And pregnancy, and then being phony and you know, fake and lying and manipulative, okay? Things fell apart for you because your relationship was built on lies and manipulation. Yes, it was. And you see that, okay? Because they're being a trickster. And not only did your relationship fall apart because they didn't honour you, okay? They were looking at other options and they were listening to other people. Things are now falling apart for whomever they decided to go towards. So they could have gone towards, you know, they could have had a family in secret, that's falling apart. Other sex options, you know, are falling apart. But they do want to reconcile. They reminisce about you. So, you know, Six Cups all about memories. You know, the past, nostalgia. Pleasant couple. Gosh, mind your fur, Baba. Oh, whoopsie. So yeah, they most certainly reminisce about you, okay. And you want truth and clarity, okay. You know, if this person comes towards you with any kind of communication, all right, you want truth and clarity because you do see them as a divine partner. And they also recognise that you are a divine partner. But, you know, they hid you. And it just caused big mess. It caused tower after tower after tower, not only with you, but other people. But they do want to apologise. They do want to reconcile. So it's like these secret love affairs. So, you know, they were hooked on, you know, having racy sex and... I think they hid this a lot with the Hermit energy, okay? And they may be alone right now because things are falling apart for them, okay? And that there you are, the Empress, okay? Yeah, they want to reconcile with you. You just want truth. You know, you don't want this trickster energy. You can't bear it, okay? You know, they're facing karma, possible endings, okay? Things came to an end with you guys, divine lovers, okay? You're trying to free yourself, liberate yourself, and be happy. But tell us about this. So, so I'm getting, like I said, they went with people that were quite racy, you know, Queen of Wands, very racy, very good looking, very out there, okay? So they were having love affairs with this kind of energy. Now, it could have been multiple. We did see family, we saw reckless sex, okay? But you were a secret, okay? Because you were this very divine energy, okay? You were very methodical. You can see that. Self-love, queen bee, divine feminine. you're very balanced. You were very moderate, okay? And they were, you know, chasing very attractive women or men, you know, out there, racy, you know, up for the, you know, excitement, okay? And there you are, you're methodical, you're the divine feminine, okay? That they actually do want to apologise to, because they cause you a lot of conflict, they put you into a lot of competition, there could have been up to 5 other options, a marriage, a baby on the way. I mean, there's just a lot going on, okay, with the cards that we have seen. They wanted racy. As I said, you know, this is about, you know, looking at your options and being bored, okay? They kind of passed you off, okay, because you were too methodical. You were too grounded for them, okay? You were an empress. They wanted the reckless sex. They wanted sexy, out there women. You know, they were chasing, you know, passion. Why do you see this person as... You see them as a trickster because they caused nothing but problems for you. It was always their way or the highway, okay? They lied, they manipulated, they caused problems, they would always try to win, they would always argue, they would always one-up you, okay? They had to have their way, okay? So they could go off getting their love elsewhere, okay? And now they're under judgment for that, all right? Yes, they are. Tell us about this Empress energy. It's all the same. You're in your self-care, you're looking after yourself. They know you're the divine feminine. They most certainly know that, okay? But you weren't enough for them at that point. Yeah, you moved on. There you go. You're loving yourself, you've moved on, okay? It just, 6 of Swords, it was too much for you. You could have been doing this for 6 months, 6 years, okay? It wrecked you, all right? It was choppy waters. You had to have calm in your life, okay? Because this person was stingy, they were manipulative, they were holding back from you because they were off elsewhere, okay? And you had to move forward. You just had to, right? Because, you know, they let other people, family, friends, lovers get in the way, okay? And they also enforce stipulations onto you because they wanted sex. Reckless sex. We saw reckless sex. I can't remember which one it was. In pregnancy, I think it's the other one. They wanted the reckless sex. They wanted the racier lifestyle, and now it's all falling apart for them. I can't remember what dropped, but sorry, having sick is part of the reading. Oh. Yeah, they are trying to drop certain collaborations now because, you know, they're having, you know, tower moments in their life. Was it in this one? 30 off. You may be ignoring this person, okay? Looking you up. Yeah, I mean, we saw fake accounts before. Always partying, dusting off. I can't find it now, but we did see it. They were all up for the reckless sex, okay? It was all fun and games. And you were too moderate. I mean, you just were. You weren't racier enough, unfortunately, at the time. But they are still very attracted to you because they know who you are. They know you're, you know, a cut above the rest. Energetically, emotionally, not necessarily financially, okay? You could be, but, you know, you're very different, okay? Let's get a love message. These are hard to shuffle. There we go. Ooh, we'll take that one. Let's take one. So with this, I'm getting you could be very highly intuitive, okay, because it's on your like 3rd eye, okay. So I'm getting a lot of the time you would instinctively know what was going on, okay, because you are the divine feminine, okay. I'm getting this person really like that about you with this card, all right. And they do feel very kind of like energetically entwined with you. Let there be closeness between you, but always give each other space. Love never claims, it simply allows and gives. So, yeah, you're not with this person, okay? As much as they feel this close bond with you, okay, you've had to let each other go, all right? You never, you wanted their love, okay, but I'm getting, because they put so many boundaries on to you, you could never really, you know, clamp this person down, okay, so you had to let them go, all right? And you had to allow them to live their life as they chose. And now it's all kind of like falling apart for them, right? But ultimately, as much as you still feel this energetic pull, as much as, you know, you really do cherish you, okay, there had to be space. Okay, there had to be, it had to fall, all right? I think for them to really ultimately appreciate who you really are, okay? Because now they're seeing you as this divine feminine, because you've gone, you had to, okay? You know, they were wrecking you. I mean, they were. You saw them as this phony trickster, okay? They kept rejecting you. They kept manipulating you to the point of no return, all right? You may feel like you never want to take this person back, okay, because of all the hurt, all the lies, all the manipulation, you know, all the winning at all costs, yeah. You know, you really did put a lot of effort into this person, okay. And now you're realizing that you have to actually invest in yourself and have a new beginning and move forward. And this person is now very anxious about that, yes they are. So let's see what, I mean, they do want to be in a relationship, you know, which is, okay, okay, maybe you're seeking some bad news. They may want to come and express some truth to you now, okay? Because whatever they've invested in, they're not really getting a lot out of it. It's all falling apart. So as much as time and effort they put into these Queen of Wands energies, it's falling apart, okay? It's not working, okay? And they, you know, wish now they hadn't hid you. They would like to come and give you some clarity about some relationships that were toxic in their life that they had invested in. Now, I'm telling you, they kind of like kept on rejecting you from people. What's the outcome here? This person and you. What's the ultimate outcome that we could see here? What's the ultimate outcome? Shedding the old, letting go of people, possessions or issues, generosity, sharing. So yeah, this person is trying to let go of certain things here, okay? They could be a, now what is that? They could be a Capricorn. All sorts of Virgo, but mainly Capricorn, okay? It's generally a yes card. So they could be like saving money, all right? They're letting go of the old. They're letting go of people, possessions, okay? And they want to bring some generosity and sharing now, okay? Yeah, they want to come now and bring some kind of, they're following their heart, okay? They want to offer a cup of love, some kind of romantic proposal, okay? They want to work on things, okay? They feel that it is a fair thing to do, to bring you some truth, okay? So let's see, they may want to come back round and work with you now, okay? Because it does say, I do want us to be in a relationship. I think they're like tired of these like fake love affairs, okay? Dreams. So they're trying to shed options and choices. So we do see that they had lots of choices in love, okay? They're trying to release procrastination, so they did, you know, keep you in one spot, okay? They're trying to release this kind of trickster energy that they gave you, like smoke and mirrors, all right? Because they're having a lot of conflict in their life, okay? You know, all of this energy, being a trickster, having multiple choices, okay, casting illusions, you know, being really phony here, being very manipulative, brought your relationship to a bitter end, okay? And they're wanting to let go of that energy, shedding the old, they're letting go of people, all right? They hid you, and they're trying to let go of certain people that may not have wanted you together, okay? Things are falling apart for this person. They caused a lot of conflict. They're having a lot of problems, okay? A lot of the people they're trying to let go of are now arguing and fighting amongst themselves, okay? They could be having like temper tantrums and clashes, you know, with these people that they were having romantic love affairs with, okay? And ultimately, they realized that they caused problems for the Empress. Look, Empress, okay? You move forward. You're out of the picture now, okay? You could be holding your space, holding your silence, because the Empress will let you go, okay? She'll say her piece and then she'll let you go. And you start loving yourself. And they're trying to drop a lot of this energy because they see you as, you know, the divine feminine. They know that they can have harmony with you. They know you're very fruitful. You're very nurturing. You're naturally beautiful. You're naturally balanced, okay? So they're trying to let go of a lot of negative energy, options, illusions, choices, okay? Old things, so they can be with their divine feminine, which is you, who I'm reading for, who's moved forward. So they know they can have ultimate balance with you. Divine feminine, divine feminine, divine feminine. You're all about loving yourself now. Let's get an affirmation. Yeah, I mean, you know, you're focused on your success, okay? You're moving forward. This person is bound to toxicities, all right? They invested in low vibrational places, people, things, okay? And they want a new beginning. Yes, they do. All right? And they want a new beginning with their divine feminine, who is solo, very single, very independent, okay? And yeah, they want to offer you a cup of love now and have a happy ever after. The Ten of Cups, they know that he can have that with you. You know, they know that you're grounded. They, you know, this is very Empress energy vibes, okay? You're grounded, you're stable, you can look after yourself, okay? They know that, yeah. And you have moved forward, and they know that, all right? And they are kicking themselves. So the outcome is they're really trying to drop a whole load of stuff, okay? Because you loved yourself enough to let them do it, move forward, okay? And now they're now trying to sort out a lot of nonsense behind the scenes, and they are trapped in their head. This person's got some bad news, and I'm getting it could be that, you know, they're having problems, and also there could be a pregnancy in the mix, okay? But this person may want to come and propose because they really are stuck in their memories about you, all right? And, you know, they were on and off with you. You know, they kept rejecting you, kept on putting, you know, stipulations, okay? And all you wanted from them is to reciprocate the energy. And I'm getting that, you know, a lot of the people that they were running around with, like, you know, psycho people, crazy, having problems, trying to drop it all. Let's get an affirmation. but you know, they're heading towards you guys, a divine feminine that has just gone, I can't deal with this. Because this person didn't ultimately, as much as they, you know, in the beginning, you know, they have this major attraction to you and they cherish you for that, okay? They never told you. They never told you how they felt. So you had to move on. They rejected you time and time again. And now they're having major problems. Oh, Lord, this is so... Too many. I just want one. One affirmation. There it is. Love and relationships. So let's see what it says. I create the foundation on which my relationship is built. Yeah. So this person is now realizing that the relationships that they have really worked on are, you know, falling apart. They're not working. Okay, they hid you for people that now they don't want to work with. Okay, it's all falling apart. Okay, it's all about lust, and they literally, sorry, rejected you. You know, lied, cheated, was manipulative. You know, let other people get in between your relationship. Okay, and they let their divine feminine slip through their fingers. Yes, they did. And now they're really trying to, you know, drop stuff, let things go so they can have a new beginning with you. So that's pretty much the outcome. So I hope that helped. If it did, please like, subscribe, share and comment. Bye.